Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Sports Talk Network, specifically here, Riverdale, their review and theories, Season 2, Episode 1, Season 2 premiere, finally is here. I've been waiting long enough for it. I almost even forgot about it yesterday. To be quite honest, I did forget about it. So I wasn't able to watch it live, but I did watch it after the fact on demand. So I was able to see it, thank goodness. But that's why I'm a couple days late here with my review, but I'm here anyways, and I'm ready to start. I'm ready to restart my content that had to do with Riverdale. It seems like been many moons since I've done one, but here we go with the season 1 finale and how that went down. And it's now coming up and starting with season 2. I mean, the first episode of season 2 picks up moments later with Archie driving his bleeding father to the hospital. You want to make sure he, or we want to see him thrive, but not looking too promising for Fred. Hallucinating during the episode, interesting specific hallucinations. One with graduation, one with his son's wedding. Mary Veronica, to be specific, so that's interesting. Now these are all huge hallucinations, but they do make the fandom think. Whether it's create fanfics like it does for other shows, but it makes you think of what the writers are thinking, or just trying to fans are with either way. Those are really interesting in their own rights. But the big thing for this season is going to be who shot Fred, and in the end of the episode, because this episode in itself was all right, for a season opener. And man, the lead right does a nice rack. Because showing a picture here with her and Cole, there's their characters in the episode, but well, then so does Veronica, the actress. But anyways, Benny declares a love for Jughead, and even though Jughead, as you saw at near the end of the first season, with Serpent, or Buddy to be one, puts jacket on, he's that way. Veronica, her father comes back. Veronica implied that maybe her parents had something to do with the attempted murder of Fred, but I don't know. I don't know where to lie or where my suspects would be. I mean, I guess I can make a top 5 here for the season of Riverdale. Who is it? Kind of like I will be doing again when Scream comes back for season 2. But I guess if I have to make a top 5, I'll just do it right now as I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, I'll forget it, and it will make no sense if I try to do it at the end of the episode as I usually do for my Scream episodes. So I guess for number 5, I would go with Hiram Lodge. Number 4, Hiram Lodge associate. Number 3, Betty's mom. Number 2, go with number 2. I guess the number 2 suspect for who is it and who done it actually could be Archie's mom. Number 2. And number 1 is for all crazy and interesting. She certainly is in that vein. I would say Sherry Boss, or that daughter person. There you go. Sherry Boss number 1. And she's on all of them. In the show, I have seen them on Instagram. Seen them in bikinis too. So 2-piece, not 1-piece, because those should be outlawed. But anyways, moving on to talk about the episode. As you said, we get Hiram Lodge back. He certainly looks menacing, as he's supposed to be a villain. So he's supposed to be the number 1 suspect, but to me, he's number 5, because the most obvious means it's not going to be that obvious. It's not going to be him or her, depending on the show, depending on what you're watching. Um, Whatever the main suspect that you think is supposed to be, it's not. Even though to me, in season one of Scream, I thought it was always to be one, and then season two happened, and now we're going to be the season three. I misspoke. But I got it right in season two with the guess that I thought in season one, because in season two, even though they made it a little bit less obvious of that who it to be, I still thought it could be him. In the end, I was correct in that prediction. But then obviously I was just continuing to do what I was doing in season one and just kept doing it. Like I sometimes do with my Super Bowl picks of Patriots and Packers. At some point, the law of averages, you'll be right at some point. But back to the episode, and the season two premiere was pretty dang good, and I'm certainly going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. I mean, it was still pretty good, even though I also say that for a premiere, it might not have been the best, and at parts times kind of boring, makes you sleepy, because it just wasn't the same pacing as with near the end of the season one. But it still brought up to a lot of big things, a lot of interesting things as it was, especially with Cheryl and her mother, that interaction there. And pretty much now Cheryl's in charge and and threatening that if her mom tells people about how her daughter's now treating her, she'll tell everybody about what really happened in the barn with her father there. Does that mean that he didn't hang himself, that they actually committed murder, or that he's not really dead and they faked it? So people thought of that, and he's actually the killer. I know I've already heard theories about that in the fandom on Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube as well. But I'm not going that way. But if it goes that way, I actually wouldn't mind that twist. Would I be surprised? Maybe less so, since I've already heard about it. That's what happens in this type of era, with people being able, the instant, interaction in that way. Than in past, like when I was younger, I guess, ways of fans interacting. I guess I don't know. Just I know that's a dumb thing I just said, but it's just how I kind of see it in that way with interaction. Just like the whole hashtag women boycotting Twitter today because of how some sexist pigs and other people, even women, sometimes demeaning fellow women on Twitter about their bodies or other things and this and that they get all the time. Not the regular celebrity dissing and death threat crap, but specifically to women in a demeaning way kind of stuff, which all should be taken very seriously. What also should have been taken seriously or was interesting was in the end seeing Miss Grundy back. I thought, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Or, well, first I thought it was gonna be interesting, like how is this gonna having to do with the main plot of the show, and her trying to be part of a plot device. But I also saw that intriguing, her being with another student again, which is interesting in that right. And she's just awesome. Miss Grundy is actually pretty cool. Just her and some, one of those, teachers would like to bang sort of thing. If only when you were in school or when I was in college, more specifically, there were some hot professors that I had in my business classes, to be quite honest. And lead it to the business classes where you had that. But anyways, teacher. But Miss Grundy back and then being killed again by the same person. So this vendetta, and it seems like it could be circling around Archie. So could Veronica be next? And you don't want to mess with Veronica's parents, which is why some people think it is that to get back at Archie for other things or for the Grundy thing, and be only faithful to my daughter sort of thing with the parents. I don't know. Who knows what the motive and the reason is? Maybe it'll actually have a nice suspenseful change and shake up when we actually do find the reveal, or the reveal happening at the end of the season, or whatever that to be. I'm certainly looking forward to that because it's certainly going to be very, very interesting. But then again, this Riverdale is not like Scream, right? So it's not like a whodunit person be killed off every week sort of thing. At least I don't think, because again, this is a different show. But it seems to be that way. It seems to look like that's going to be how it goes. And at the end of the season 2 finale, down the road, we're going to get the reveal and find out who it is, backstory, explaining this and that. Is it a long lost sibling of Archie's or Betty's or somebody's? Is it somebody that wants Betty, kind of like the Halloween episode of Boy Meets World, which everybody should watch here in the month of October, here in the start of the holiday season, um, where it was Sean Hunter in the dream. In the end, it was just a dream. Um, which, by the way, is a good song, "Just a Dream" by Nelly. But anyways, but it was only just a dream. But Sean killing off people because he wanted, according to Panga, back together in the short time they were broken up there during the series. Maybe this could be a one that wants Betty and Archie together and going after ones that Archie loved or liked or dated or slept with or otherwise, or just knew, or in general, whether it's the girls he was with or other girls he was with or family members in his life. He gives up in that way. I don't know. Who knows the actual reason? I'm sure it's more so the first ideas than the last, but just throwing things out there because why the heck not? Everybody else has with their craziness of ideas. My craziness of ideas going along with it, put it right in the pile, along with the others. But that's my review here for season 2, episode 1, the premiere of season 2. Pretty good episode. Again, thought it could have been better. The beginning and ending, best part. Shower scene was good, I guess, in its own way, but just wanted to share my thoughts. Welcome to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Share the video, subscribe. But above all else, as always, take care.